This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello, and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena, it's another mono white deck, but it's not, because I'm optimistic that Grandmaster of Flowers could very well be the best card in the Forgotten Realms set, and extremely playable, and an upgrade to mono white or other white-ish decks that I think a lot of people are sleeping on. I think this card might be very, very good. So let's read the card. 2 white for a legendary planeswalker, 3 loyalty. As long as Grandmaster of Flowers has 7 or more loyalty counters on him, he's a 7/7 dragon god creature with flying and indestructible. So first of all, getting to 7 loyalty from 3 with 2+1s is hard. So this has to be treated a lot like an ultimate, but it's a very strong ultimate. Basically, you get to attack the opponent with a 7/7 flying indestructible. So that can often end the game if you've been aggressive throughout the game. Now, the 2 abilities are both +1s, which, I mean, they both lead to the same path, a 7/7 flying indestructible creature, which is really cool. So if they're any good, then it's probably a decent planeswalker. +1, target creature without first strike, double strike, or vigilance can't attack or block until your next turn. That's not bad. That shuts down both attacking and blocking from most creatures that you'll come up against. Double strike, vigilance, first strike, those are very specific abilities. An Annex that doesn't have an Embercleave is not going to be able to attack or block for a turn cycle, and that is a big deal. It does defend itself well. The other +1, search your library and or graveyard for a card named Monk of the Open Hand, reveal it, put it into your hand. If you searched your library this way, shuffle. Here's Monk of the Open Hand. This is an elf monk. It's a 1 white for a 1/1, and whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Monk of the Open Hand. So you get a reasonable 1-drop where whenever you play 2 spells, the card grows, and you get to search your graveyard as well as your hand, which is kind of a big deal, and the reason I'm running 3 of them instead of 4. Hopefully, if we don't want to actually draw them on turn 1 very often, because we want to curve out with our 3 drops and our 2 drops. So putting counters on this early is hard, but putting counters on this after we play Grandmaster of Flowers is pretty easy, because you assume that the Flowers is getting you the Monk. You're also probably drawing and playing a spell for the turn. So basically, this card fetches you up 1 mana 2/2s that continue to grow bigger, and it can get them from the graveyard. So it's a card advantage ability. I think this card might be very, very good, and I'm excited to try it out here today in a white aggressive shell and see if it pushes the archetype even further. It does slow the deck down a little by adding a lot of 4-drops, and we need our mana more than ever because we need to be able to play our Monks of the Open Hand and do other things to make them grow. So I've got another new addition from the set, Loyal Warhound. This is 1 and a white for a vigilant 3/1 creature. When it enters the battlefield, if an opponent has more lands than you, search your library for a plains card and put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. So this is a 2 mana, decent bodied ramp card that works when you're on the draw. And I think that this card is very sweet. It finally means if we miss our second land drop, it's not the end of the world, as long as we also have something else to play besides the Warhound itself. And we have a pretty low curve, although we still rely on our 3-drops and now on our 4-drops more than ever. So mono white is getting mana hungry, but I think the power level is certainly there. The rest of the cards, you've seen them around. And the only cards right now that keep this from being a standard 2022 legal build are Selfless Savior and Alseid of Life's Bounty. So if you want to replace those for other 1-drops like Usher of the Fallen, you certainly can, and I don't think that these are absolutely necessary to the deck, but I think that they are a big upgrade in power that's currently needed if you're going to play it in regular standard. In standard 2022, though, you can play this whole deck just by cutting these and adding some other 1-drops and seeing how those perform. Now that I've described the new cards in the deck and why we're running them, we're going to dive in. We're still #sponsored by Wizards of the Coast on the preview account, where they hooked us up with 1 million gems and 1 million gold to do all kinds of stuff, and then we have to release those videos here on release day. So Adventures of the Forgotten Realms should be out now if you want to go check it out. Let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. Okay, we've got a Monk into the Grandmaster of Flowers. Let's go. I need to remember to change this. I never think about it. Johnny. It's gotta be a Johnny. All right, so I'm gonna play the Monk in case we draw another 1-drop, and then we can go 1-drop, 1-drop, have a 2/2, and just see how playing this on turn 1 can go. Okay, other 1-drop not secured, but let's drop the dog. Opponent has something at instant speed here. Woof. Hopefully we'll find the 4th land for the Grand Master and see what doing this on the play can do. How powerful can it be? Yonti Melison. 1 and a blue, 2/1. Snake Rogue. Cannot be blocked. Deals combat damage venture. Ooh, okay. So, we could play Skyclave Apparition and just stop them from doing cool things. I'm going to play the Spellbinder and have a look at their hand. I want to see what's going on. Sublime Epiphany. Whoa. What is going on here? I'm going to take the Epiphany, of course. They are going big. And we'll offer trades if they want them. Nope. Because remember, we can fetch monks from our graveyard as well as our library, so these dying is not that bad. We also got the Beholder pet. Oh my gosh, it shoots laser beams. Look at that. Beholders are crazy. I just thought it was the thing from Doom. It's just zapping me over here. Am I taking damage for that? All right, so we're venturing into the Yawning Portal, which is the really long one to the Mad Wizard's Lair, so you gain 1 life. And the next mode is to scry 1, so it's going to take a while for this particular dungeon to get rolling. There's also Treasure Vault, which you can sacrifice to make treasures, but you have to put in double X, so it's a really expensive way to get some treasures. Let's go for the Grand Master. Please resolve. I wanna play with the Grand Master. That's why I'm playing this deck. For the content. All right. I'd say we make this unable to do its thing, because that's the best way to keep this moving up. And we don't need a monk this turn because we can't play one. So it can't attack or block. And then we smash in for 5. And then the next turn, we can go fetch a monk, play the Skyclave. Both monks become +1/+1. And the Skyclave deals with the Malison, and we are doing it. Like, I have a feeling this card on the play might feel a lot like Gideon Ally of Zendikar used to, although it can't smash in for 5 on its own. It can certainly make it hard to stop the opponent from smashing in. Selendi Vision. Look at your top 6, choose an instant or sorcery, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom. What you got here? What you gonna grab? True Polymorph. 4 blue, target artifact or creature becomes a copy of another artifact or creature. You can target your opponent's things with this, actually. Wizard class, you have no max hand size. Level 2 draws 2 cards. And whenever you draw a card, put a counter on something. So, I mean, this is some fresh mono blue content over here from our opponent. Loyal Warhound does not currently fetch a land. Let's go search our library for a monk. Get it on the field. Skyclave App. Maybe I wasn't supposed to play the land so that the Warhound could fetch a land in the future, since we don't currently need it. Drop him to 7. My plan is on the battlefield, and there's still a Faceless Haven waiting to rumble. So how does mono blue get out of this? They might have the effect that returns half of the creature's target player controls to their hand, and they could leave me with like a savior and a monk. That's an interesting one in the spot. All right, Grand Master of Flowers supplied plenty of beatdown while our opponent tried to put a game plan together, and of course the Elite Spellbinder's Disruption would have messed up just about anything unless it got countered, so looking pretty good. Let's see what preview account 98 is up to today. As you see, I have this it's me. It's preview account 225 CGB account. So, Yahoo! On the draw, would be nice to see a new card. Of course, this is all the classics. Barbarian class hits the battlefield. So, Barbarian class, what do you do? If you would roll a die, instead roll that many dice plus 1 and ignore the lowest roll. Pixie Guide. Okay, I have played against this before, but a lot of you just tuning in probably haven't seen it. So I'm going to try to describe it as we go. And we're going to grow the Luminarch Aspirant. But Pixie Guide is if you would roll 1 or more dice, instead roll that many plus 1. So already we're up to rolling 3 dice whenever they play a dice tossing card. So let's see what happens. The other effect, 1 in a red. Whenever you roll a dice, target creature gets +2/+0 in Menace. That's aggressive. And they're moving to level 2. And then level 3 is creatures you control have haste. So much text on these cards. So much text on the classes, on the dice cards, on the dungeons. It's a lot to absorb. And probably more than I can really explain. All right. Succinctly, I should say. So, we can... I think we're just going to Skyclave Apparition, but I don't know. Taking out the class seems really good. This isn't slowing us down that much. You know what? Let's... they must have a sweeper or something, but we have saviors. Let's just go for the no new card, just solid beatdown plan. Yeah, well, blame the shuffler. Shuffler being fine. Come on, Flowers, where are you at? I'm very curious if rolling dice can get them out of this, because if it can, I'm actually going to get interested in the dice mechanic, even if they have to get really lucky to do it. Delinda Wild Mage, whenever it attacks, choose target creature you control, roll a d20, 1 through 14, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy, and 15 through 20, create one of those tokens you may roll again. Okay. I don't know, man. I'm kind of wondering what the heck's going to happen. And I've got all these apparitions to shut it down. But I'm not going to. I could play the apparitions here and be absolutely no fun. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say roll them up. In the spirit of new cards. We didn't draw any new cards. They did. So roll them up. What you got? Maybe I should have attacked so that they'll attack. But they have to attack, right? There's no way you can build this deck and then don't attack. Yeah, if I had attacked, they would definitely attack. Maybe I should have. All right. Whenever you roll 1 or more dice, the Devil's Chosen gains flying and menace till end of turn. If any of those results were 10 or higher, draw a card. Sure, let's go. Let's go. I want to see it. Show us the power. Do it. These are both legendary, right? So they have to copy the Pixie Guide, but then with the Pixie Guide copied, they get to roll more dice than ever. Do it. I won't kill it. I won't even block it. Come on. Come on. No! All right. Apparently they're not getting the message here. Apparently they're not getting the message. So I'll attack with 1, right? And I'm trying to let them know, like, I want you to roll the frickin' dice. I want you to do the thing. Show it to the people, because I don't want to play this deck. This magic disgusts me, but I'm sure some people out there want to see it. There we go. Nice. Let's do it. That's a lot of high rolling. That's a lot of high rolling. So what does this do? Every single time it's copied, they're going to draw a card for each thing above 10, and they're going to gain flying and menace. And I don't know, but I don't see the draw triggers yet. I'm waiting for them. Do we get draw triggers? Okay, here come those triggers. Nice. All right, now all those have menace, so I'm definitely dead. And those are going to draw. And they all gain flying, which is sweet. And they draw all these cards. Nice. All right, so I guess that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to mirror march it all. What is this? Flash. 2 and a blue, 2/1 flash. When it enters the battlefield, choose target creature an opponent controls, roll a d20. 1 through 9, tap that creature. 10 through 20, tap the creature. It doesn't untap. Okay. Now they're just trying to be extra, I guess. Now they're being extra. No, this is great. This is great. Instead of showing you another game where white aggro smorks, you got to see the die mechanic in action. Although if you stayed this long into the video, maybe that's not what you were looking for. I don't know. But I'm perfectly happy to lose this one and show you guys some dice rolling without me having to play the deck. Got another opponent right away, number 65. I still forget my avatar. All right, we go first with a Warhound, which is not ideal, but we have new cards, so we'll keep the hand. Minion of the Mighty. Okay. Okay. It's on. I don't know if this is ever going to work, but we'll play the Aspirant first just in case. Orb of Dragonkind. Alright, so your backup plan is to cast some dragons, huh? And they missed the land drop. Let's get in the hand. I don't think they can play a dragon on turn 3, but if they can, this shuts it down. They have Ironcrag Feet, Goldspan Dragon, Cathartic Reunion. I'm going to be rude, I think, and take that Reunion. Although, oh man, maybe it's supposed to be the dragon, but they have the Ironcrag Feet. Yeah, I'm going to take the Reunion. All right, let's get aggressive. So what does the Apparition need to hit? The Minion of the Mighty doesn't really do anything without help. If we target the orb, they'll sacrifice it and go get a dragon anyway, but the dragons are expensive. And that means that they probably won't be able to play it right away. So let's go like this. A lot of people out here trying to do a turn 2 kill with Minion of the Mighty, 2 Infuriates, and Velomachus. Or not Velomachus, the Terror of Mount Vesuvius is... I think that Mount Valus. Terror of Mount Valus. Alright, Goldspan Dragon is the last play you get for the turn, and it can't really attack, so that's right up our alley. So we can make this a 4, and attack, and then if the opponent blocks here, it still works. So we want to do the Warhound to get the land. Let's go here. See if the opponent wants to trade a Goldspan Dragon. Good, good. That is okay by me. Yay, planes! Planes are great. Planes and automobiles and stuff. Cathartic Reunion at a very expensive cost, revealing the Inferno of Star Mounts. I played that in my dragon deck the other day. Alright, so this is lethal. We play this, we get to plus... And this cannot block. And there's the attack. Grandmaster of Flowers. Wah wah. Hasn't been a dragon yet, but if he became a dragon, he'd have to join this squad. On the play, no new cards. Perfectly playable hand, but we're gonna mulligan it, look for new cards. Alright, Warhound isn't great on the play, but we're gonna keep it anyway. Try to use it to fix our draw. Wah! Selfless Savior! Woof. We've also got to try like the dog tribal Winota with the Loyal Warhound. Getting another decently playable dog is probably really good for that deck. Let's get a +1/+1 counter on our Aspirant. Attack with our Savior. Our opponent appears to have something they could play, but they're not going to. Den of the Bugbear. Is this just some solid old, some mono red going on? Bone Crusher. I've seen this card before. Let's get some protection. I'm not going to be able to play the Warhound next turn anyway. Let's just play it out. God, okay. I guess, like, sometimes you just have to suck it up, right? Because next turn we're going to have to Skyclave the Bone Crusher, so we're not going to get the free planes. And we don't really need the 5th one that badly anyway, to be honest. Do you think the opponent will trade with the Warhound? Probably not. And the Vigilance is really good anyway. Let's have a look at the hand with the Spellbinder. Infuriate, Infuriate, Magda, Inferno of the Star Mounts. It's a lot of Infuriate, but remember, to target their own creature really hurts them. Like, they have to take 2 damage for each one. So they're definitely not going to want to trade here. Let's take their Magda. Let's put a counter on... They'll definitely want to block the Aspirant if I attack with it. Let's put a counter on the Warhound. Let's offer the trade with the Aspirant. This way, Skyclave Apparition comes down, takes out their Magda. They have no board. They take 7, and then they have to do something about it the next turn, which they don't have the mana to do. Oh, okay. They go straight for the minion of the Mighty. All right, so they go hit, 6. They put this into play. They pump it. So this is 6. Plus 6 is 12, 14. Could play the Apparition and mess that up. I'm not gonna. If they wanna infuriate out their dragon, go ahead. I'm gonna kill you the next turn. But some people just want to see how the cards work. You gotta do it. Oh no! You gotta infuriate before combat. You gotta infuriate before combat. No! 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 I try to let him do it. Alright, on the play, a Warhound that's basically a 2-mana 3/1. Scuffed Hollow Blade. It is what it is. Man, I need to draw the flowers more often, though. I'm not drawing nearly enough flower power. I'm trying to content over here, guys. Alright, here's some content for you. We're gonna wake the dragon. Gonna wake the dragon. Hi. What you up to? Gonna get this beholder to shoot us with lasers. That's content, right? Yeah. Nice. I love that they brought back a board that you can do stuff with. The other boards were getting kind of lazy, not gonna lie. I hate throwing that word around when people are out there trying to do their job designing games that I like. But let's be real. They gave us boards that you could interact with, then they said we ain't got time for that. Think we can open the chest? Guess not. 3/1 beatdowns. Woof. Got different sound effects. Alright, the orb is back. Do we blow up the orb? We're probably supposed to blow up the orb, but with Alseid protection, I think we should take it slow. Let's see if the opponent can blow up our squad. Alright, play a cool dragon. If you do have a 4-drop dragon, the Skyclave can get rid of that. Man, they are potentially taking so much damage next turn. We have like a 10-point attack if we power up Haven. Foretell. Ooh. Allen's Epiphany Dragony stuff, maybe? Maybe. Another Haven. Could be a Doomscar. Alright. I'm going to leave the orb, and I'm just going to go really hard. So, would I have played a Master of Flowers there if I had it? Probably not. Loyal Warhound, Luminarch Aspirant, Elite Spellbinder. On the play again. Getting really lucky with being on the play. Starting to feel kind of naughty about it because we don't get to show the Warhound and what it can really do. On the play, I think, yeah, we just run it out there. And I'm going to run it out instead of Luminarch Aspirant because it might go in a portable hole or get removed. Malison. The creature that cannot be blocked is back. Let's offer a trade with the Warhound. And Spellbindies. And soon we'll be able to play Aspirant and protect it. Whoa, you need land. I feel bad for you. This thing has to attack alone to do what it's here to do. Heartless Act is really expensive. Bloodchief's Thirst is really good. Oh man, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to take here. I'm going to take an old card so that they can play their new cards. Brazen Borrower doesn't affect me too much. Let's take the Heartless Act. So there's your venture. Probably need a scry, don't you? There's no dungeon level 1 that gets you a land. Although that would be sweet. That would be a really good card, though. Alright, you drew a land. Good job. What else do you have? You're going to Bloodchief's Thirst the Warhound? You're going to bounce something with the Borrower? Yep. Put a counter over here. Get the damage in. Where's my flowers? Where's my flower power? I can't draw this card, man. I think I've only drawn it once. Maybe twice. I don't know, it seems like only the memers were invited to this event. But let's see. I mean, Esper Dungeons. Where do you think that deck goes? Like what's the path? We made a treasure token, so now with this venture, put a counter on a creature, lose or gain, or -4, -0. And it looks like it's -4 on the Spellbinder, which I don't think I can protect from with the bounty because this is a colorless card. The app. I mean, it's it's kind of mean, but so would be powering up Haven. And they can use Brazen Borrower on this, but we can give protection from blue, so it's not that significant. I'll go for another counter over here. Really try to finish the opponent off in the air. And they take it, because if they target this with the Borrower, we use the bounty for Pro Blue and they lose out on their 3/1 flyer. And now they try to bounce the Alseid itself, hoping I'll hang on to it. This does open them up to use a Bloodchief's Thirst next turn, so we're going to sacrifice it anyway. Because I don't want them to get the 3/1. They'll probably kill the Spellbinder anyway, but we may have another flyer. Yep, that works. Let's see if the Malison continues to attack to move the dungeon, and the answer is yes. So, you get to draw a card. You have completed a dungeon. There's our guy. Grand Master O'Flower. So we make it so this can't attack or block. Put a counter here to protect from the Heartless Act. Attack. Heartless Act the Aspirant. Very spiteful play at this moment, but effective. Alright. So now these have to start blocking. We don't have 2 spells to play, so we may as well use this ability, making it so they can't double block. And you see the way that even the +1 that seems like a pretty low impact one that says can't attack or block, it just lets us keep the pressure going. Hold the land, we might draw the dog that can fetch us more land. Good game.
Perhaps learn some humility.
Go for the Stevens. Finish the job. Well, we have to draw land, but we've got the Grand Master. And we might draw the dog, too. Alright, change the avatar. We are Bolus. And Bolus is we. Lava Glide, okay. Land off the top, feels good. Let's see if they have something to match up with the Aspirant. Not yet. I'll show. I unlocked the dragon. Hold on. There. Quick temporary camera switch to show the really cool looking little dragon guy. Opponent has the orb. Let's give him the Spellbindies. Another orb and an adult gold dragon. Well, that's a big problem. Nadar the Paladin is interesting. A little bit of venture into the dungeon action here. Wow, our dragon's going off over here. That's a really cool dragon, I gotta say. All right, let's switch it back because we might be playing a Planeswalker, which occupies space over here. We've drawn 2 straight lands. Basically cheating. We should not be able to get away with that. Seems like they drew a removal spell. I'm just checking to make sure that wasn't something that you could only do as a sorcery. Alright, so mana is open. They didn't play this dungeon guy, so they might counter this. Which I guess would be fine, but when I look at it compared to a Legion Angel, I feel like I should play the Angel. We may as well attack first, though. We don't have to make that decision right this second. Dragon Turtle! Okay. So, 4/3 presence or new card. When we look at it objectively, I think I'm supposed to play the 4/3. I'm going to play the new card because it's the new card, but I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to play the 4/3. So that's just something to keep in mind for the future. Doesn't quite stack up to a Legion Angel there on the play. So maybe Icing Death, you know, the other new card for Mono White, the Dragon, could also be better than this card on the play. Another orb getting set up for the adult gold dragon, which with lifelink and haste is a real pain in the neck. There's a creature we can target with our flowers. And they use Yawning Portal, which is the long one. I mean, pretty optimistic to say you're going to live that long, isn't it? So we've got this gold dragon thing on the way. What's the play? We definitely, I think, want to play this and a 3. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go like this. Gonna take out the Paladin, I think? Or the Turtle. I guess the Paladin has a little bit more text. They're the same cost. This means that this can't attack and block next turn. And we'll put a counter over here and just hit the opponent really hard and see what they can do. This Adult Gold Dragon can come over and rumble for 4 and gain 4 life, which is really good. Next turn, though, we can try to brick wall it with Maul of the Skyclaves. They play their 5th land, so the Warhound is going to work. Here's the Dragon. See, the abilities are First Strike, Double Strike, and Vigilance, which this doesn't have. It has 3 abilities, but none of them are those 3 abilities. All right, up to 15. So now we can play Warhound. Woof, get a land. And play this land, play Sky Maul. You can put that over here. Make it so this can't block. Put a counter over here. Rumble. Bang. This guy was responsible for a lot of damage. We pushed a lot of damage with this card. And we are back for the post-game wrap-up. Gonna keep it short and sweet because we saw a lot of these cards in action that we already know that they're good. I would say that Loyal Warhound, if you're on the play, don't get married to the idea of fetching the land. It's very unlikely to happen. Just play it out there. And accept that you have a Vigilant Seasoned Hollowblade that dies easily. Just roll with it and try to get some damage out of the card. On the draw, though, getting those lands, it can be a big deal. This is a pretty mana-hungry deck now with the ability to play all the Monks of the Open Hand and do so many other things. And the Legion Angel, like the Grandmaster of Flowers, there was times where I liked the Legion Angel a lot better, especially on the play of just putting more pressure on, but there weren't really anybody playing board wipes to punish that. And I don't know, the card I'm most interested that I think competes with this is Icing Death, the Frost Tyrant. Let's see, Dragon. It's a white dragon. Where'd it go? Where'd you go? There it is. Yeah, Icing Death Frost Tyrant, which is a 4/3 flying vigilant, a lot like Legion Angel, but when it dies, you get a legendary white equipment that's really good and also helps you attack through the opponent's creatures, much like the Grandmaster does. But I do think that the Grandmaster is a very solid card, and this deck requires testing in a competitive environment. Ladder, for example, so we'll probably make more videos with it in the near future and do more testing with it, as this deck looks very, very powerful. I think that mono white is going to be one of, if not the best monocolor aggressive decks. I think that mono red is going to have to accept a supporting role for a while. I think that's just the way it's got to be, in my opinion, but we'll see. I'm never one to really listen to on what's great for mono red, okay? It shouldn't surprise you at all that I have a bit of bias there. But anyway, I do recommend Grandmaster of Flowers. I wouldn't run out and craft 4, give it time for me to be wrong, but I would say if you craft 2 or 3 of this, you're probably going to win some games with this card, and you'll probably get on my wavelength pretty soon that this is a very powerful card in the set. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you to Wizards of the Coast for the preview account. Again, I'll have to do a video soon talking about that because people are going to have questions for me because I made a video in the past talking about the end of early access. It's coming. But in the meantime, hashtag sponsored. Thank you. And thank you for watching this video. You stayed till the end. You're cool.